Hey y'all, Rick Houston here, and I want to tell you about my new show, the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast. I've partnered up with the state of North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to help uncover the history behind moonshining mountain boys, professional wheelmen, and the backwoods and city lights of the Tar Heel State. In the first episode, I sat down with Winston Kelly at the NASCAR Hall of Fame for a little behind-the-scenes gossip about Junior Johnson's engineering skills.
He's got two things in his hand, pipe wrench and channel lock pliers. And they weren't new. They had been around the block a time or two.
Wasn't the first steel they built, I bet.
No. I think the pliers had been red before, but paint had worn off.
And in the second episode, I talked to a professional hillbilly, a.k.a. Dr. Daniel Pierce of UNC Asheville, to find out the real history of moonshiners and their battles with the revenuers.
He wrote about one of his experience of trying to chase down this bootlegger in this souped-up car, and he complained that the government gave him these piece of crap, cheapo cars, and that were really no match, but he thought he was doing pretty good, and then the guy just hits it and just takes off and practically disappear. But then the guy makes a bootleg turn and comes back towards him. And as he said, it was a game of chicken, and I was a chicken. And so he ran off the road. And actually, he was the guy who caught Junior Johnson at his daddy's steel when Junior got tangled up in a barbed wire fence.
So check out the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast, available on YouTube, dailydownforce.com, and all of your favorite podcasting platforms. And be sure to check out my regular show on NASCAR history, the Scene Vault Podcast.
Hey there, NASCAR fans. Have you got your copy of the latest edition of NASCAR Pole Position Print Magazine? If not, there's no better time than now to subscribe at polepositionmag.com. NASCAR Pole Position is the only print magazine covering NASCAR. Officially licensed by NASCAR, NASCAR Pole Position Magazine is published throughout the NASCAR season, and each edition is an instant collector's item, packed with great feature stories and photography. The magazine is even mailed to you in a poly bag for those who love to collect NASCAR memorabilia. At polepositionmag.com, you can even find past issues available to purchase. Get your subscription to NASCAR Pole Position and get great NASCAR content delivered straight to your mailbox throughout the season. Learn more at polepositionmag.com. That's polepositionmag.com.
Eric Estep here. One of my favorite parts of being a NASCAR fan is collecting diecasts. It's how I got my start on YouTube, actually. To me, a room is not complete until it features shelves of NASCAR diecast cars. It's as good a time as ever to continue your collection or begin an all-new one by pre-ordering your favorite driver's 2022 next-gen diecast at lionelracing.com or at any authorized Lionel retailer. Lionel is the official diecast of NASCAR, and don't miss Lionel Racing's NASCAR Authentics diecasts at a Walmart or Target near you. Not only is Lionel the official diecast of NASCAR, but they're also official supporters of the Out of the Groove podcast network. So what are you waiting for? Head to lionelracing.com to order your favorite driver's 2022 diecast.
You're listening to Maiden Level Cross, presented by Pristine Auctions. I'm Thad Moffitt.
And I'm Rowland George.
And today you're just listening to us. We don't have a guest on the show today, so what's in store for us here, Rowland?
Yes, Thaddeus. We have a lot in store. We got a lot to talk about, man. We've had 2 weeks of fun-filled excitement, and by excitement I mean races. Bristol and COTA, we're going to do a recap on that. All the exciting events and shenanigans we got ourselves into. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and get ready to listen to two guys talk about Bristol and COTA, right?
Right. Right.
All right, well, Bristol, Tennessee, Smoky Mountains. What'd you think, man? That was your second time racing there, right, in your entire career?
Yeah, so Bristol's a really cool place, man. I mean, we had Food City on board, so we came up a day early and we got to hang out in the city of Bristol. And that was pretty neat, seeing the fans interacted, even though the weather wasn't great. It was a good turnout downtown Bristol. And the Last Great Coliseum is always a spectacular place to be. I mean, they do a lot of cool stuff there. I don't think it's really that cool when they put dirt on it, but they play football games in there. They have concerts in there, music festivals, races. So it's just a cool atmosphere and a cool place to be for sure. I hadn't raced there since 2021, so getting back up to speed, we only had about 15 minutes to figure it out. And the resin on the bottom was different from what I remembered. I think it was PJ1 last time I raced there, so the grip level was completely different. And I think that we just fought tight majority of the weekend. You know, I mean, we were tight with the front end, and it kind of hurt us middle of the corner. And so, all in all, it was okay weekend. It wasn't great. It was not good, not awful. It could have been worse. So, looking forward, I think we learned a lot at Bristol, and I think that we had solid stops all day, and I learned a lot as a driver. And first time working with Stevie on the roof, I thought he did a good job, and Doug did a good job on top of the box. So picked up a lot from that one weekend, and hopefully we can carry some of what we learned forward.
I had a fantastic time. I've never been to Bristol, always wanted to go. First thing that, you walk into, it is a coliseum. And then what you don't realize is the freaking banking, man, is insane.
Yeah, we did the track walk, and you participated.
We did the track walk,
you walked the track with me.
I did. I cannot tell you, anybody who has not been there or done a track walk, if you've done a track walk, any tracks, what you'll find is the TV is very deceiving. It's extremely banked, folks. I mean, what is it, Thad? Do you know the banking at Bristol?
36 degrees or something, isn't it?
I mean, you could roll a bowling ball and it would do some serious damage to somebody. It's pretty dope.
Trying to walk up a lot harder than it looks like.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. You definitely learned a lot. Stevie was fantastic as a spotter. I am so happy he's looking out for you for this season. So kudos to him. Kudos to your guys. Dodged a wreck. Did a lot of learning. Friends at Camera Logistics were with us. So appreciate Colin and those folks for coming out and supporting the team. But perhaps the greatest thing that happened at Bristol was, do you know what I'm about to say?
Me dressing up like a leprechaun?
That was pretty cool, but that's not, you know what? Before I get into what the most magical experience was at Bristol, that was a magical experience. Let's talk about the Easter egg hunt real quick. And then don't let me forget the coolest thing that happened. Okay. But for those who weren't at Bristol, we did a special Easter egg hunt. We got some of our partners involved. Walk us through that. What was the whole point of that, Thad?
It wasn't my idea, but I participated in it, and I dressed up like a leprechaun, and I put these golden eggs all around the racetrack for fans to find with good prizes in it. I think that all of our partners at Tasty Duck and Pristine and Lear and everybody that participated really just gave us a lot of good stuff to hand out to everybody, and hopefully everybody enjoyed it.
I sure enjoyed it. It was really cool seeing some of the fans' reactions, giving you the eggs, getting their prizes, and even better, you found your other natural calling, which is being a leprechaun, man. I mean,
I don't know that I would want to ever be a leprechaun.
I think if things don't work out, you definitely have a side gig.
The beard was itchy. That's why I'm not a big beard guy.
Well, a lot of fun. The golden eggs, almost like Willy Wonka.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to say was the best thing that happened at Bristol.
All right, what was it?
The Cornbread Cowboy.
Dang right, son. The Cornbread Cowboy. So
man, that was pretty cool. He just walked up and said, I was just chilling in the lounge, like getting ready for race, and Rowland walks up and he's like, Dad, I want you to meet someone. And it was the Cornbread Cowboy.
But what? It was like, it wasn't like 3 days before the race. I was telling you about this guy. I was like, there's a corn. Yeah, it was. I was showing you on Instagram. So look for the Cornbread Cowboy, and it's spelled with an I, not a Y. So Cornbread and then Cowboy, so Cowboi. Guy's got like 500,000 followers on Instagram. He's got the funniest. I don't even know what would you call it? Just random reels and posts about. He looks like a trucker from the late 1970s. Like, it's hilarious, but a lot of like old school NASCAR content on there. But it was like 3 days prior, Bristol hired him to be like an ambassador for the Food City 500, and he was giving out tickets with Food City and all that. But he said he was going to be at the track. So I had told you, I'm like, man, I would love if I ran into that guy. So, we went to the catering tent and to get some dinner, and I'm chewing on a hot dog. I almost spit the hot dog out because I see you can't miss this guy, guys. He's dressed in like cowboy boots, pants that are way too tight, and like throwback shirts. What did he have? Like a Donnie? No, he had a Dale Earnhardt shirt on, like an old school Bud Moore Dale Earnhardt 2-car shirt. And I said, Mr. Cowboy. And he goes, call me Cornbread. I'm like, Cornbread, love you, man. And it was loud, too. It was during cup practice. I said, would you mind come back to the hall? He can barely hear me. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure, man. And we go back. I said, I want you to meet Thad Moffitt. And he didn't like, who the hell's that? He goes, I'm like, Richard Petty's grandson. And he goes, oh, hey, I'm there, man. So we walked through. A bunch of your guys recognized who he was, which was awesome. And one of your guys said, that's who I want to grow up to be, which was probably one of the best things I ever heard. And then, you were up in the lounge with your mom and dad. And I remember your dad saying, are you real?
Yeah.
You're his new favorite driver, man. That's what he told me.
It was a crazy experience for sure. I didn't think that I was going to meet the Cornbread Cowboy, but I did. And he enjoyed. We showed him around the lounge and hung out around the pit box, I think, during the race. I don't know because I'm in the car, but it was pretty cool. And a lot of cool stuff happens at Bristol, man. I think that it's just a neat environment, like I was saying, and it's a really cool racetrack. And we got to do the Food City appearance that morning and interact with the fans. And so that was always fun to go out there to the fan zone before the race and get to chat those people up and see what they have to say. So, just a really cool overall weekend. Wish we ran a little better, but it's part of learning, part of being a new team is working out some of these hiccups and getting ourselves a notebook to build when we go back in the fall.
Exactly. I don't know what you're complaining about. Your favorite driver, Christian Eckes, won, so that's a huge feather in your cap, man.
Dude, the cup race was awesome.
The cup race was interesting.
The cup race was awesome.
It was good. I don't know what I thought about it. It was very interesting. The tire fall off was unpredictable, but I will say the veterans prevailed. I mean, that was old school. Tire management was everything. So,
yep.
Denny Hamlin got the W. Did you see the whole cucumber fiasco? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but Josh Berry did good too, man. That was impressive what he did.
Yeah, Josh Berry. Yeah, he needed a good run. He's been having a pretty rough time of it, and I'm glad to see him come through with a decent finish. I think
Ty Gibbs driving back to the front without blowing a tire was pretty cool. I thought it was a good race, man. I thought all in all, the whole weekend was pretty cool.
Well, so on the way back, I can't say much because it's probably still under investigation, but I did get pulled over, Thad. Got a ticket. I won't say doing what. Yeah, it is unfortunate. We and you were talking. I'm not blaming you, even though you were kind of a distraction. We were talking about St. Patrick's Day. I was going home for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. Got pulled over and was jamming to St. Patrick's Day music. Was jamming to like that pub music, and I guess I was going a wee fast, and that's all she wrote. So your boy's got a court date I got to go to, but that was my St. Patrick's Day. But what warmed my heart was your dad calling me. So I told you guys about my tradition. I don't know about our listeners out there, but love St. Patrick's Day. It's one of my favorite holidays. I'm not fully Irish, but I'm a little bit of Irish, and I grew up in a family that loved celebrating it. Got the corned beefs, cabbage, potatoes. And it warmed my heart to hear that your family is probably doing this as a tradition now going forward. Your dad called me, went to Lidl's, got some corned beef, cabbage. He made a shepherd's pie, I believe.
Yep, we did.
What did you think of your first celebration?
I mean, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't
Okay.
great. Yeah, the shepherd's pie was good, but
What a bum. You are a party pooper, man. Your dad did a really good job. I was proud of him.
I'm not a big corned beef guy, I guess. I don't know, man. Just not one of my favorite things to eat.
Yeah, including pork, apparently.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
Right.
Well, that's all we have to say about that. Well, COTA. Let's move on to COTA. Austin, Texas. We had our friends at Induction Innovations on the truck. That truck, the real truck, the renders look good. That truck was, as you would say, on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, the flames, they look good.
I thought it was cool bringing the flames back, man, on that truck. It was the paint scheme itself was pretty cool with the throwback look, like early 2000s Jeff Gordon looking scheme with the flames on it. And yeah, Cliff was there from Induction Innovations. It was good to have them there this weekend. We had a good time in Austin, Texas, other than the race, man. It was just unfortunate we didn't get to practice. We didn't get to qualify. We had power steering issues. I think that finally they figured out that it was a reservoir that may have been sucking some air or something and putting it in the lines. That way the steering wouldn't work. And then we had brake issues during the race starting on lap 3 that kind of just came and went the whole time. So just unfortunate that we ran most of the race with no brakes and we didn't get to practice and qualifying, especially with all the work that I did last year to work on road course racing. And then with this being the only road course on the truck schedule, I felt like it was a good opportunity for us to be competitive and for me to kind of show my ability on the road courses, and never really got that opportunity this weekend. I think that like starting the race, I think that we picked up like 6 or 7 spots in the first 2.5 laps, and then the caution came out, and driving off into one, the next restart is when we lost brakes. So
what's that like for people listening when you're tell us how fast are you going down that straightaway at COTA, and then you realize the pedals to the ground, right? What's going through your mind?
I think that there needs to be some clarification too, right? Like whenever I say that I have no brakes, I don't think like that doesn't mean the car won't stop at all. It just doesn't stop how it should. So like the left rear line was the one broken. So that means I still had stopping power on like on the 2 fronts, but it wasn't the pressure that it should have been, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't receiving. If I was pushing 800 pounds of brake pressure, it wasn't that's not what the car was receiving. So yeah, driving up the hill on the restart, probably on 140, 150, somewhere in there, up the hill, driving up past the bump, trying to outbrake everybody. And when I went to the brake pedal, everybody else stopped and I kept going. And Stevie was like, "Oh man, we're locked up here. We're locked up. We're sliding." And by the time I had got it downshifted and gathered it back up, I come over the radio and told them that we had no brakes. And then the track limits were tough this weekend too, man. Even on me with no brakes, like I come down the hill, trying to get back to pit road, and I guess I shortcutted the course.
Oh yeah, they got you.
Yeah, having no brakes, and they busted me 46 shortcutting S's. So yeah, just man, it was a long weekend. Like I come on the radio towards the end of the race, and I said, man, what I would do to go back and restart this whole weekend all over again. And I feel like could have been a really good weekend in COTA, and just unfortunate. We need some luck on our side going into Martinsville in Texas here. We got an off week this weekend for Easter. Hope everybody has a great Easter, and then we'll move forward and hopefully have a good solid weekend at Martinsville and Texas back to back before a couple more off weeks.
Heck yeah, man. Well, let's talk about Martinsville because I'm pumped. How many hot dogs are you going to eat?
dude, I could probably eat a lot of hot dogs. But I do want to say that Texas is like probably up there with one of my favorite states. Like, I like Texas a lot. Like, I'm glad we're going back in April. I hope we have a better time. But COTA is like, the racetrack's really cool. And Al Neese's place was down there. We did like a cowboy breakfast on Friday morning at 7 a.m. at Neese Equipment. That was really cool to participate in. All the drivers were there.
What's a cowboy breakfast?
So they cook over like a wood burn fire.
Okay.
So it was like potatoes and eggs. It was like a normal breakfast.
Was there a guy in a chuck wagon there?
No, there wasn't.
Damn.
It was pretty cool. I mean, it was cool to be a part of. It was like good team camaraderie and building between, I mean, every team was there. The 46 team, the 45, 41, and 42 teams were all there. And so just good for us to get together outside of a racetrack setting and just kind of chat and see what everybody was thinking and what was going on in their life. So just cool to see what Al does at his place too. Those water trucks are actually like a lot more interesting than you would think they would be. Plus, everything's bigger in Texas. Like, their grocery stores are huge.
That's right. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Yep.
We'll be right back. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Pristine Auction is the most trusted sports memorabilia and collectibles auction site. Auctions on pristineauction.com start at just $1. And each day, thousands of signed items are available, so you win signed authentic items at affordable prices. Every item on pristineauction.com comes with a certificate of authenticity from the industry's most reputable authenticators.
PristineAuction.com is your one-stop shop for all authentic signed die-cast, helmets, trading cards, photos, and so much more of your favorite drivers.
Okay, Thad, this week I've got my eye on not one, but two things. I love me some diecast, and boy, I found two awesome diecast. One, Mel Gibson signed Mad Max 73 Ford Falcon Interceptor. If you never seen Mad Max, you gotta watch it, but it's autographed by the Mel Man himself. And then there's another one, dude. Burt Reynolds signed Smoking the Bandit Trans Am. It signs the Bandit. So I'm going to put my bid on right now for both of these things.
Be sure to visit pristineauction.com and use code THAD10 for 10% off of your first purchase. Links are in the show notes.
Induction Innovations is the leader in American-made handheld induction heaters. Home to the original Mini Ductor for over 20 years, they've been innovating how mechanics can tackle challenges like Loctite, rust, and so much more. Induction Innovations Mini Ductor series will win to free up components quickly using induction heat. The Mini Ductor is designed to help techs cut down on ticket times and say, forget that torch. Induction Innovations. Do it faster, do it better, do it safer. Visit inductor.com to learn more. For you, it's all about going further, faster. For them, it's about helping you achieve it. That's why at Customers Bank, they combine the best of technology with a deeply human touch. They offer a wide range of innovative banking solutions backed by outstanding personal service, giving their customers the edge they need to take on tomorrow. Take the lead with Customers Bank. Learn more at go.customersbank.com/NASCAR.
But I am excited about Martinsville. A Martinsville hot dog is like, I mean, it could go up there with like the best racetrack food ever, right?
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. New Hampshire's got some killer lobster rolls too, but the Martinsville hot dog's pretty dang good.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, Grandpa would give me like $20, and he would be like,
Man,
"Go buy some hot dogs."
10 hot dogs for that.
Yeah, he would be like, "Go buy some hot dogs," and I would just go get like all the hot dogs I could get with $20. Me and him would sit there and eat them. About halfway through the race, he'd be like, "Give me $20 more." He'd be like, "Go get some more hot dogs." So I would go get more hot dogs, dude. I could eat a lot of hot dogs from Martinsville, but I'm excited to race there for the first time. Never been there. The paperclip. Hopefully our truck turns well and has a lot of
NASCAR's oldest track.
Yeah, Grandpa won there
15 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have something to ask you about that. So you made an official comment saying, and I quote, "It's a special place to our family. When I was a kid, I never understood the grandfather clock thing, and it was kind of annoying." What do you mean by that?
Dude,
What was annoying about it?
ding, ding, ding. Like
See, we need context. Whoever wrote that, we need. It just felt like you were annoyed by the fact that your grandfather won there 15 times.
No, I was annoyed that every time I went to his house, it was like it'd go off all the time. It was like constantly going off, and I was like, man, doesn't that ever aggravate anybody else? But now that
you know what it's about,
now that I understand, that is the trophy. That is the pinnacle.
You don't care if it's ringing all night long.
Right, yeah.
That's going to remind you of a victory.
I want one in my house that goes off every 30 minutes, you know? So.
We're hoping you get your grandfather clock. It's a little different from what I understand from the Cup Series, but nonetheless, is it a grandfather clock or is it a grandmother clock the truck guys get?
It's a grandfather clock, ain't it? Yeah.
I think I may be 100% wrong. I thought theirs was a grandmother clock. Like, it's different. It's smaller. I may be wrong though. I don't know. I've been there for truck races and I always thought it was slightly different.
Listen, man, either way, if I leave Martinsville with a clock, I won. So
it's a badass clock. I got it.
That's all that matters to me.
You know what matters to me is getting hot dogs and avoiding the insane traffic jam that ensues when you leave Martinsville. They got to figure that out. So the state police and Martinsville's got to figure that out, because if you park in that infield, not the infield, the camping areas, you're screwed, man. You're there for like 3 hours. But
yeah.
Well, Martinsville, looking forward to it. We got Easter coming up. You got any Easter traditions?
We usually go to church. I mean, typical Easter stuff, little Sunday brunch or lunch or whatever you want to call it, whatever. We just eat together as a family and usually participate in church and celebrate the day. And that's about it.
Hell yeah, man. That's what it's about. Resurrection Sunday. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What about Easter egg hunts? You do any of that stuff, or Easter baskets? You ever do that growing up?
Not more. Yeah, we're actually, I have a niece and soon to be, I guess, nephew now. So we bought a couple of Easter baskets and give them to kids. But yeah, Mom used to go all out for every holiday, but we all had our own Easter basket growing up, and Grandma would get us one too. So it was a special. Every holiday was special growing up, but we all got together as a family every holiday too. It didn't matter how small the holiday or how big the holiday. It was just something that we did. So I guess that's something that's kind of stuck with me, and that we just continue to do even as I get older and everybody has their own lives. We just still make time to get together on the holidays.
You got a favorite Easter candy?
Probably the eggs, the Cadbury eggs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Reese's eggs.
No, like with the...
Cadbury. Yeah, of course, Cadbury eggs. There's a lot of people that don't like them, so I'm pleasantly surprised to hear that answer. I like Cadbury eggs as well. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah. Reese eggs are just regular Reese's in the shape of an egg.
You mean Reese's eggs. What's with you people down there?
You making fun of how I say Reese's?
Reese's? That was the guy's name.
Yeah.
Thad Moffitt.
Whatever.
See what I did there? Left Twix or right Twix? Anyway, moving forward. I hope everyone has a wonderful Easter. Remember, just like Christmas, the reason we're celebrating is Lord and Savior rose from the grave. So that's a great thing. Very good thing. So everyone have a very safe and happy Easter. Enjoy yourselves. You know what else is coming up? Petty Fest.
Petty Fest.
Petty Fest. All things petty.
Biggest day of the year in Level Cross.
That's right. The biggest day of the year. Everybody's going to be there, including the King, Mr. the King, and Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Kyle Petty, will be there. Will you be there, Thad?
Yeah, I'll be at Petty Fest, I think.
I think you will be. It's April 20th, so there's nothing else going on
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it should be. So, yeah, I'll be at Petty Fest, and we'll be out there hanging out at the historic stomping grounds that my family has been at since 1949. Always fun to have the Petty clan out there. Our fan base is so awesome. The family's fan base is so awesome, and having everybody get together and celebrate every year is really, really cool. And Grandpa always coming out and participating just shows what the people mean to him, and me and Uncle Kyle making time to come shows how important all of those people are to us as well. And it's just really means a lot to us that people want to come out and celebrate. So for us to be there and celebrate that day is always really cool.
Yep. It's an awesome event. If you've never been and you're in town, definitely check it out. 9 to 1. There's going to be a little car show there, autograph sessions, going to have the garage and museum open. Good time for all. And, of course, celebrating 75 years of Petty family racing. So very excited about that.
Yeah, this should be one of the biggest Petty Fests yet then.
Heck yeah, man. I would hope so.
Let's see.
We shall see. It should be pretty impressive here. Well, I guess in closing, we got a couple questions from your awesome fans who are very passionate about everything, and we appreciate them. We love you guys. So got a couple questions for you. This one comes from Luke Butler from Monroe, Michigan. Thad, your grandfather, Richard Petty, you ever hear of him? Made Petty Blue famous. If you could have your car made just one color and it would be trademarked, what color would it be?
Luke, to answer your question, mine would probably be orange. I feel like you probably already knew the answer to that if you listened to me prior to this, but I'm a big fan of that color and big fan of Tony Stewart's orange Home Depot car, big fan of the Clemson Tigers who are orange. Yeah, that's kind of always been my favorite color.
I would agree. I think it's one of the best colors. Blue is awesome as well, but orange. Now I will ask you this.
Well, I guess to answer Luke's question, if it wasn't Petty Blue, it would be orange.
Right. Of course. I think you answered the question.
Yeah.
My question to you is, would you do just orange, like a Florida orange, or would you do that awesome neon orange?
Neon. The neon.
Oh, yeah.
Orange. Yeah. Dayglow.
There's nothing. Yeah, Dayglow. Well, Dayglow is technically red, but I see. Yeah, same deal. Yeah. I think it pops. I love a fluorescent color on any car. Like Ryan Blaney's cars pop. Whenever you have it on your car, like your Trans Am car, it's the best dang looking truck. Your grandfather, you said your Petty's garage truck is one of his favorites. He thought it was beautiful at Bristol.
Yeah.
So, all right, this one is interesting. I don't know how much you can say or not say. Joseph Moore, Lake Ronkonkoma. I know where that is. It's in New York, Long Island. Thad, are you doing anything special for Darlington? Throwing it back to Grandpa?
Joseph, you'll just have to wait and see, man. We have a really, really cool scheme. I'm really excited about Darlington, all the way down to the fire suit. The details are really cool. So you guys will just have to stay tuned and see what we're doing. And there's actually a chance for everybody to participate.
Oh, man.
So stay tuned and see what happens.
I can definitely agree with that. This is going to be one of the coolest paint schemes you guys will see all year long. If not the best paint scheme this year. Would you agree, Thad?
I agree. Yeah.
Without going into any detail, this is going to be a whopper. And I believe we're making the announcement at Texas. So the question could not have come at a better time because we'll be making it in a few short weeks. I'm I am so excited about this, man. You have no idea.
It's a sweet looking car. You guys are going to love it. I love it. Grandpa loves it. So hopefully everybody loves it as much as we do. And I think it's really cool. Without giving everything away, I think it is a really cool opportunity for the fans to participate. So hopefully we can blow it out. Throwback weekend for our family being in the sport for 75 years. It should be a big one for us.
Yeah. So it'd be funny if we could have guesses of what it could be. That'd be great. And then, I don't know, we'll figure something out. Jim Boyle, I know you listen to this. Figure something out where you can do some kind of cool contest. Figure out what kind of scheme we're running. It could be anything. It could be a throwback to something. It could be something entirely different. You never know, right? So, all right. Well, that does it for this wonderful episode of Maiden Level Cross. You got any pearls of wisdom for the fine folks at home, Thad?
Pearls of wisdom for this week are probably just keep your head up and keep moving forward. That's where I'm at right now. So
can't ask for anything else, man. We really appreciate everybody's support. We love your passion. Keep your heads up, like Thad said. We're gonna get through all this, and we're gonna show everybody what we're made of here in the next few races. So.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for sticking with us through all this, and we still got time to turn this season around. So that's what we're working towards right now. Hopefully, we'll finish this year off strong and get on the right foot here soon.
Good deal. Well, we will catch you guys on the next episode here.
Yep. Thank you guys for listening today to Maiden Level Cross, and be sure to like, subscribe, leave us a review, and follow me on all social media platforms.